So this woman wants to claim that calories do not matter when you're on a carnivore diet. So apparently she has some sort of secret technique, quantum physician something, apparently where the laws of thermodynamics just do not apply and you can eat whatever you want on the carnivore diet. Apparently she has some sort of trick or something in her bio, I guess. I don't know, somewhere that you can do this. It's pretty dumb, obviously. I don't have to sit here and tell you that that's clearly not how it works. But we're gonna be watching more plates, more dates. Derek, you guys probably know him. We're gonna see, why she's claiming this, and I'll help add on a couple of my points as well. But overall, this will be mostly like just me reacting to it. Okay.
Individual is picking up some steam. Her username is Carnivore Coach Peyton, so you can kind of tell what to expect when you're getting into her channel here. Carbs are your I can't even fucking talk. Carbs are your enemy. Carnivore is not for the weak. So obviously a hardcore carnivore diet zealot, and she is sort of
So one thing I do actually want to mention as well is that that's really stupid if you think carbs are your enemy, because I'm sort of starting to see and think that the reason she is saying that carbs, don't matter, and that carnivore diet is so good and calories don't matter is because carbs are not bad for you, but a lot of the food that has carbs are bad. Does that make any sense? Like, for example, a shit ton of donuts or pasta or whatever. But you actually really, really need carbs, especially if you're an athlete or any sort of like weight training or whatever that you're doing. You need it for that extra energy, because I know when I tried keto or carnivore, I never tried carnivore, but it's basically the same thing. Keto was I had no energy because my glycogen stores were just gone. My glycogen stores and the carbs that your body uses as fuel, as for your muscles and for energy, it's gone. You don't have that anymore. And that really sucks, especially if you're somebody that is doing any sort of physical exercise or activity. Obviously, if you're just kind of a couch potato and you take on the carnivore diet, then you're probably going to see a lot of results, obviously, right? Your glycogen stores are gone, you're shitting nonstop, so because your body's adapting to that. So obviously you're going to see that and you're going to think, okay, oh, this diet's working, right? I'm losing so much weight, but in reality, you're mostly losing your glycogen stores, which can be around 10 to 10 plus pounds, depending on, your weight, your height, whatever. A couple of those factors. And then in the fact that since your body's adjusting, then you're also going to lose a lot of weight from that. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're losing weight, and that's why people see results really quickly on keto. But overall, in the long run, you won't actually really see that result unless that result, stay with you, unless you stick to it. Because, like I said, a lot of the time, the foods that are very high calorie and low density are usually, carbs. But not to say that carbs are bad. That's why people a lot of the time will have white rice and stuff like that. Anyways, enough of... I guess you can consider it a tangent. Let's just get back to the video.
Put some of her progress, transformation, before and afters on her page, and kind of elaborated on how beneficial this diet model is, why carbs are fucking terrible for you, why you should be following this diet model, why it's the best, etc. And you start to get down the unfortunate side tangent of falling into the camp of this is the way you need to do it and there's no other alternative that is superior to this, when in reality there are holes in it that a lot of these individuals are completely unaware of, and frankly have only come to the surface relatively recently as areas that ultimately boil down to circling back to a balanced diet model almost at the end of the day, which is interesting how this always seems to be the fucking answer to pretty much any kind of ridiculous, pigeonholed fucking diet model. Like you have to eat only like this or only like this. You end up with some sort of aberration in physiologic functions and hormone production that cause you to defer back to what happens to be overall a more balanced diet model to actually make things not get fucked up.
And this is actually something that you can see in a lot of these people, actually, that, really want to push this sort of thing that, you have to eat only this or this or this or, detox or whatever. All these, dumb trends about these foods that you need to have in order to lose weight. They're just dumb, because they also like to, boast about how this diet, you don't have to restrict any sort of like food or anything like that, but yet, as you know, More Place More Days just literally said, they do that all the time because they're like, oh, you can only eat meat. Oh, you're going on a stupid ass juice cleanse or tea detox thing. Oh, okay, you can only have a tiny little granola bar in the afternoon, and then in the morning and at night you're just gonna have water and or tea. Really dumb. Obviously, you're gonna lose weight on those because you're literally fucking starving yourself to the absolute extreme. I don't know why these diets are popular. I think he explained it well by saying that it's just that people don't really know what they're doing. And especially with these people that just, had success with something like that. And yes, obviously it can work. But for the most part, for a lot of people, that is not a good idea because, most people are either overweight or have some, I wouldn't say they have an addiction, but, obviously they have a very, very, very good, like, I would say, they don't have a good relationship with food. And I don't like saying that word because, relationships are, with people, duh. But they really do not like food in a good way. They just do not. They are always, oh my God, what the fuck am I saying? Hold on. Okay, sorry, my mind went blank. I just had to pause there for a second. So what I was trying to say is that they're always like looking for the next trend or something like that because, they're so just involved with food to the point to where they're kind of like sick of it themselves, right? They just want to find any sort of method for quick weight loss, even though that's not really how weight loss works. If you want the true quickest weight loss weight loss method possible for you and for, I guess, generally most people, it would literally just be caloric deficient and a lot of cardio. Do I recommend that personally? I mean, if your weight is the main problem and you're literally just trying to lose weight, yeah, I guess so. But in the long run, for an overall healthier lifestyle, you definitely want to be able to incorporate some sort of weightlifting so that it's easier to maintain that weight because of your resting metabolic rate, RMR. Obviously, if you don't have a really high RMR, then it's going to be really hard for you to sustain a weight like that because you just don't have any muscle mass. Your body's not like, hey, we got to use a lot of this energy to just, keep us in the state that we're in. Because your body, they like to be in that state. What is it called? Homeostasis? Your body likes to be the same. So that's why weight loss for a lot of people is really hard because, your body's constantly fighting back in that sort of regard. Especially because over time, your body will adjust to itself, right? So I've gone on a tangent long enough, but you get what I mean.
Model to actually make things not get fucked up. So she mentions here that calories don't matter. Obviously, she knows she's trying to be controversial here. She's even has a bit of a fucking attitude while she's talking about it, which is, she's passionate. I understand she had a good transformation on the carnivore diet, which we will get into shortly. But here she says why calories don't matter.
Yeah, let's do that, okay? Let's clear up some confusion, yeah? Let's do that, okay? No, and Dr. Ken Berry will say it first thing. We're not going to look at your calorie intake. We don't care about your calories. Calories don't matter when you're on a carnivore diet. They just don't. I'm sorry you're so butthurt about that. I'm sorry you can't wrap your brain around an easier way to lose weight. That's why I'm here, to inform people that you...
Okay, so caption is sorry, not sorry, get over it. Hashtag cut it out, hashtag carnivore, hashtag weight loss, hashtag zero carbs. So basically outlining how the micronutrient dense meat that she's eating trumps anything else, and having zero carbs whilst concurrently only eating high quality meat puts you in a situation whereby you do not need to count calories to lose weight. So let her continue here.
You don't have to go kill yourself in the gym. You don't have to restrict what you're eating. You don't have to watch every freaking calorie you put in your body. Eat meat.
Okay, so obviously even off the bat, that's kind of paradoxical when you're saying don't restrict what you're eating when you're literally restricting yourself to only one type of fucking food for the rest of your life. But continue.
Heal.
And that's the thing as well that you will see with a lot of these people is that, these sort of diets are just, they're not sustainable, right? Like, obviously, for a majority of people, eating only meat is sure as shit not sustainable, right? Yeah, you can maybe stick with it for a couple months, but overall, like for your life, you're not gonna be eating only meat for the rest of your life. Eventually, that's just not gonna give as many benefits as you think it might give you, right? And the thing is with this woman as well is that she keeps saying that, like calories don't matter, but like if you think about it, obviously this is really hard to do with healthier foods, but you can still eat, healthy foods. You can still overeat healthy foods. It's still very easy to do that. For example, shitty salad kits or whatever. Like, a lot of the time people will think that, they need to just eat healthy foods and it doesn't matter how much of it they eat, they'll still lose weight. No, you can still overeat healthy foods. It's still super easy to do that. Like a lot of people will actually be surprised by that. And that's the kind of the hard thing with these like crazy diets as well, is that yeah, you could eat really like lots of healthy food, but if you're still overeating that healthy food, then you're not going to see any real difference. You're really not, unless you incorporate some sort of exercise or, weightlifting or whatever. Because a lot of the time, these people they just sadly don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure why there's so much like misconception around, especially like the fitness or weight loss industry. I think it doesn't help with people like this that, just really, really brag on about what they're talking about as if they knew exactly everything. Now, of course, you could argue that that's me, but what I'm doing, I know, is proven to be right. Carnivore diets, yeah, I guess you could argue that that also has shown that, have people losing weight. But that's mainly because with cutting out carbs, they're in a caloric deficit because they're excluding such a massive food group that basically most of the things that they can eat in order to gain weight are just not available anymore, right? So overall, what a lot of people will actually tell you that know what they're talking about, at least in any sort of slight resemblance, would be caloric deficient, especially depending on your weight or height. It could be, 250 to 500 calories or 1,000, hell, if you're really like overweight. But I still wouldn't recommend that, but this is like for extreme cases, obviously. But what I'm trying to say is just, I don't know why there's so much misconception. It honestly, it sucks, especially because, like this woman here, she just claims to apparently have the secret to hacking thermodynamics in your life. So it just doesn't make any sense.
Continue.
Heals, it defends, it reverses type 2 diabetes, it reverses PCOS, it increases your energy, it suppresses your appetite.
What the fuck, dude? Reverse type 2 diabetes? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, she's probably only getting that because, when you lose weight, a lot of the problems that you actually have health-wise are because, you're overweight or obese. Especially, like type 2 diabetes and stuff like that. But going on a carnivore diet alone will not change that. Please do not think that that is real.
It suppresses your appetite. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm so sorry that you are so angry inside that somebody has a different idea than you.
So, pretty bold statement. Don't need to count calories. Obviously, we've heard it many times at this point. Now, why would you not need to count calories on a carnivore diet? Well, ultimately, if you're in keto, like obviously aberrations in blood sugar and insulin dumps and shit are not going to be as problematic, and you'll probably find if you're on a keto adapted diet that you do not have nearly as bad of cravings if you are essentially in a state of sugar addiction via your brain. However, and obviously with carnivore, red meat, high quality micronutrient dense meat, it's quite satiating. It tastes fucking good. A lot of people are quite satisfied with it, but at the end of the day, can you overeat on a carnivore diet? Yeah, you fucking can. Are you gonna lose a bunch of water weight off the bat too because you have no carbs in your system? Yeah. Is it going to give you the illusion that you're losing weight? A lot of people would probably assume so, and they'd think, wow, this shit's working real quick, as well as your gut actually adjusting to it and you like shitting your fucking brains out for the first few weeks. That and the water loss from the loss of carbohydrate storage is going to be quite significant in your apparent weight loss off the bat. But above and beyond that, yeah, it is actually quite good at, adhering to a reasonable calorie intake because you have no fucking cravings realistically once you're keto adapted. But it does not mean that calories in, calories out doesn't matter. Now, I don't even want to get into the fucking discussion of calories in, calories out, calories doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. Like we all fucking know at the end of the day, energy in versus energy out, energy expenditure, how much you're fucking eating, what the quality of the food you're eating is going to impact, hormone production, physiologic processes that are going to dictate how much energy you expend, and the quality of the calories matters, and ultimately calories in, calories out, law of thermodynamics, you can't fucking dispute it. If you are eating too much meat, you are not going to lose weight still. However, could it be harder to fucking overeat only meat when you're keto adapted than if you are eating donuts all day and shit? Yeah, obviously. However, doesn't mean you don't need to fucking count calories if you're trying to lose weight. You know, you might not need to. Maybe you're so fucking satiated that even situation to count calories is completely unnecessary because it's sort of self-fulfilling via the fact that you're just not hungry enough to eat in a surplus. You know, that's certainly possible and is likely the reasoning behind her statement. However, ultimately, we all know the law of thermodynamics is fucking undisputed. No one's going to talk about that, I think, on this channel and think that, you know, what she's saying makes any logical sense. Other than the obvious, even if you think calories in, calories out doesn't matter, you're just fucking eating less than you're expending at the end of the day if you're losing weight. But the problem here is her bold claims about carbs are your enemy, carnivore diet's the fucking shit, it reverses type 2 diabetes, it does all this stuff, like quite a few bold claims in this TikTok. And it's kind of interesting because it sort of harks back to some of the old stances of some of the individuals she looks up to and highly regards, and some of their shortcomings, which I've exposed in previous videos, and they have since realized their errors, which we will get to shortly. So here's her transformation, by the way, quite impressive weight loss.
Not that I needed to come on here and address this, because you have
Obviously your attitude's fucking shit, but anyways.
your own issues, right, for judging me without even knowing me, yeah? But I'll just, okay.
Yeah, it's great that you lost weight, you know? Ultimately, this is the first comment in the fucking thing. Girl, you cutting out carbs puts you in a deficit, therefore you are losing weight, LMAO. Yeah, people who actually have a well-balanced diet and do weight loss right look better and show actual progress pics, not you flexing in a mirror. I marked the milestone of fitting into a Nike women's large after being able to barely squeeze into a 2X. I'm sorry, you're a miserable person.
So I'm not sure why she's putting herself on this fucking pedestal that she's better than you because she lost weight on an unsustainable diet. It just comes off as I'm smarter than you and very self-centered. You poor, fat, overweight souls stuck on a old method of weight loss, and I'm the new queen of this new diet era that doesn't care about thermodynamics. It's just really dumb. And this poor Christina lady, she says she doesn't want to fail again, but she's going to. It's really sad to say because she's going to hopefully not try to do this diet. She's going to fail if she does. It's just not sustainable.
Yeah, obviously your comment section is, you know, a lot of people, frankly, are just obviously not going to like her attitude towards the situation and her illogical approach to the obvious law of thermodynamics. But anyways, as far as the carbs are the enemy, you got to only eat meat. Carnivore diet's the way to go. It solves fucking everything. She mentions in here specifically why you would listen to her and where the information derives from and what the high level of credentials are behind the individuals who are proponents of this carbs are the devil shit. And I'll let her tell you exactly why.
Professionals. Dr. Paul.
So she's replying to, this girl has no idea what she's talking about and has been proven wrong by so many professionals. So this is her rebuttal to that.
Dr. Paul Saladino, Dr. Ken.
So her first mention, her highest fucking tier guy, Paul Saladino. Continue.
Barry, excellent, extremely informative. Dr. Sean Baker, Lisa Weidman, Jay Wrigley, Michael Eads, Anthony J, Jordan Peterson, Paul Mason, Gary Fedke, Paul Mabry, and David Unwin are all professionals that I have listened to that are absolutely extraordinary and extremely informative. All doctors, not TikTok nutritionists and dietitians with a couple 100,000 followers. Nope, none of those. Yeah, they're excellent. So if you want to do research, there you go.
Dude, the attitude is fucking unmatched.
So I'm just going to let Derek speak on these because I don't know any of these people. So we're just going to watch his, you know, I don't know if he's going to disprove or whatever. I haven't watched this video. So we're going to see what he says. I don't know any of these people. Otherwise, I'd probably, you know, jump in and say a couple things about them. But I don't know them. So we'll just see what he says in response to this. And I guess I'll just give my thoughts at the end of that. And then we'll know if it was good.
Dude, the attitude is fucking unmatched. So just because these are doctors, are they infallible? Have they made, errors in their ways before and gone to correct them? Let's talk about Paul Saladino. I like the guy, to be honest, but some of these individuals are pretty dead set in their ways and are pretty opposed to any kind of scrutiny and or feedback. But he has actually shown, unlike some of the other carnivore diet zealots, that he is actually adaptable and willing to go back and update his views, even if it goes completely in the opposition of something that he was a huge proponent of and was part of the foundational infrastructure of his previous arguments, which frankly I found pretty, impressive, because a lot of people would not do that because it's fucking embarrassing when you're a high-level professional and you've literally written a book about something and you have to go back and correct yourself. So again, she is basing her opinions off of some old fucking Paul Saladino content, as well as all of these carnivore diet zealots who think carbs are the enemy. You only got to eat high quality nutritious red meat. That's all you got to fucking do. I made a video over a year and a half ago now, and I've talked about this many times, even prior to that as well, about free testosterone levels getting destroyed on keto and carnivore diets. And this is something I've noticed through longitudinal data from many individuals, especially highly regarded guys in the space. Ben Greenfield, Paul Saladino, this fucking guy, I think it was Carnivore Kurt. Some of these individuals that are very forthcoming about putting out their blood work and whatnot, and were prominent proponents of keto diet or carnivore diet. And they would, constantly show their blood levels of disproportionately crashed free test levels with sky high SHBGs, binding protein levels that are equivalent to that of a fucking woman. And it would constantly go overlooked. And they would say dumb shit like, oh, it's fucking your sensitivity to tests goes up, so you don't need higher free tests, and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, the reality was that their long-term keto diets and carnivore diets were actually slowly butt-fucking them. Now, I'm not saying that there's no place for these kind of diet models or that they cannot be implemented in a sustainable way, but there has to be some level of centered, kind of balanced approach taken to them that is considerate of some of these extra factors if you want to optimize health and performance, in my opinion. And it has actually spurred the emergence of certain threads on even Reddit. There was this posted in the keto subreddit of
So as he said it himself, this shit long term just is not gonna cut it. For one, your will and your fucking, temporary strength to follow a diet will run out before your body eventually, in of itself, will start fucking itself over because you're just not getting the nutrients that it needs. Your body needs so many different nutrients, and you're not going to get that from only fucking meat, right? This is why, our fucking ancient ancestors would fucking eat grains and shit as well, right? They weren't, a lot of these people will say that eating meat only is an ancestor or primal diet, but in reality, it really isn't. They eat plenty of fucking fruits, vegetables, seeds, grains, all that stuff. So you guys can read this thread if you wish to. There's plenty of time to just pause the video and read it if you care. The rest of this video is just about the conversation that the doctor had or something like that with what's it called? I think it was proving or going back and restating his opinion or whatever. But you guys can watch that if you care to on your own time. There's the name, I think. It's just Calories Don't Matter in a Carnivore Diet. Again, big props to him. Curly, massive figure. But, physically and on the YouTube space. But, yeah, that's the end of this video. Please, guys, be careful with these diets. Don't partake in them, please. If you're really looking to lose weight, just go on a caloric deficient. Caloric deficient, hit the gym, do some cardio. Don't let people tell you that you don't need the gym. You do. It is... Okay, you don't, but in reality, if you want to live longer and have a healthier life, then you do, okay? Because you'll have more of your life to live for if you just spend a little bit more of it at the gym. Because over time, you'll end up liking it anyways, okay? All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Again, go follow him. Subscribe to me as well. I'm trying to get to 1,000. And, yeah, that'll be it for that one. Thank you guys for watching.